There's a rule wealthy families have followed for close to 200 years, and almost none of them say it out loud. The rule is simple: don't keep your money where you live. Most people, when they hear that, assume it's about secrecy, hiding something from the tax office. That's the wrong reading, and it's exactly why the people who need this idea most are the ones who dismiss it. So let me be clear before I go further. This is not a video about hiding money from anyone. It's about the risk most successful people carry without ever naming it: political risk. The risk of keeping everything you own inside a single set of laws that can change the moment the people writing them decide. This video is for people who have built real capital, somewhere between 1 and 10 million liquid depending on the country, and who keep almost all of it in the same place they live, the same place they vote, the same place they pay tax and their children go to school. Most of you watching are in exactly that position, and most of you have never actually counted how much of your net worth depends on the decisions of a single government. If that number is close to 100%, the rest of this is for you. Start with the one nobody wants to say. Taxation is not a law of nature, it's a policy choice and policy changes. In the last 2 years, the UK abolished its non-dom regime entirely, a system that had stood for over 2 centuries. Italy moved the other way and now offers new residents a flat tax on foreign income. And this year, the European Union published a report studying exit taxes, ways to tax wealthy people on the way out, specifically to make living unders. I'm not here to judge any of those. The point is simpler, and it holds whichever direction a country moves. The framework that governs your money changed without asking your permission. And if every euro you own sits inside one jurisdiction, then that jurisdiction decisions becomes your decisions, made for you with no vote and no appeal. European families learned this across a century of upheaval, and the lessons they kept is boring and effective. Never let one government hold the whole things. So, layer 1 is political risk. Quick note before the next layer: if you've just realized your entire net worth sits inside one country rules, that's the first thing we actually measure on a call: how concentrated you are, by country, by institution, by currency. Links in the description. Now, the second layer underneath the political layers is a more mechanical one. Everything in one bank, in one country, is a single point of failure that has nothing to do with tax. When a bank shifts its risk appetite, updates an algorithm, or changes a partnership behind the scenes, every account you hold there is exposed at the same moment. This isn't hypothetical. A public records request in the UK showed over 450,000 accounts closed in a single year. If your entire operating life runs through one of them, you're one decision away from a very bad month. Layer number 2 is banking concentration, and there's a quieter third layer most people never file under risk at all. Holding every unit of your liquidity in a single currency is itself an unhedged bet. The old European families didn't do this by default, not because they were currency traders, but because concentration in one denomination is just another way of putting everything in one place. Same principle, different taxes. So, layer 3 is currency concentration. Let me be honest about what this does and doesn't do, because the version that promises to erase risk is the version you should distrust. Spreading your money doesn't delay risk. It changes its shape. A distributed structure still has bad days, but it fails slowly and visibly instead of all at once. And that gives you the one thing a frozen account never does: time to react. Proof distributed. The people who see these are already moving. The Early Wealth Migration Report for 2026 records a record wave of relocating capital, and one of its most striking findings is that even wealthy Americans who aren't leaving the country at all are building banking and residency options abroad in numbers not seen before. Earlier this year, an Italian regulator found one of the largest payments apps around 11 million euros, partly over how it handled account blocks and suspensions. Different countries, different deadlines, one signal: the smart money is reducing how much it depends on any single place. Since most of you are in the one of them. The first, you live in your home country, 1 to 5 million liquid, a business that runs and 0 accounts outside your borders. The most common profile we see. The very first move isn't exotic. You open in a stable jurisdiction where the people managing your money speak your language and you build that relationship over years, not weeks. The second, you've already relocated for tax reason, the corporate and fiscal side is handled, but your money is still parked in the country you left. The fiscal picture is sorted. The banking picture isn't, and it becomes the bottleneck nobody planned for. For both, the same next step. Book a consultation with our team. We look at how concentrated you actually are in country, in institution, and in currency, and tell you honestly where the exposure sits. The link is in the description, and to be completely clear, because this topic gets misread, what we build is patrimonial sovereignty, not concealment. Every account is declared, reported under CRS and FACTA, fully visible to the authorities meant to see it. The goal is simple. Make sure no single government, bank or currency holds all of it at once. If that reframes something for you, subscribe, because we take these ideas apart, one at a time. I'm Matteo from GloboBanks. See you in the next video.